It was a good clink.
That was a good clink. Let's do it again. Oh, right in front of the mic. Here we go. Right, this is for you. Oh, good one.
It's a little flat. What the hell just happened?
I just poured it all over my lap. It's everywhere.
What is wrong with you?
I don't
have some on your computer.
What the fuck?
Hello, everyone. I'm Brit.
And I'm Dale.
Welcome to another episode of A Toast to the Atypical. Tonight, well, I always say tonight. We're recording at night because we're losers. We don't do anything till our kids go to bed. But wherever and whenever you're listening, we had some pretty good feedback from our most recent episode, The Witches Then and Now. We got some new followers. We got some cool shout outs. So Dale, do you want to mention some of our cool feedback?
Yeah, definitely. So we had a bunch of new followers on Instagram, and it was cool because one of the people that commented on one of our posts was Gallows Hill.
Yes,
which was really cool because that's the distillery that we kind of featured last time. If you've listened to our previous episodes, you know that
the orange cello.
Yeah, well, the orange cello. Yeah, it was delicious.
The orange cello. That's all you need to know.
So
I mean, all the other drinks were awesome too, but that's what we brought home a bottle of.
Yeah. So if we gotta turn that on.
Little
Ambiance. Yeah. So we usually do like a drink or a toast to like a local something as well.
We try to if it fits our theme. Yeah.
So
today's not going to happen like that, but
unfortunately, but that's okay.
We'll live.
Yeah. So big shout out to Gallows Hill because, like I said, we're not sponsored by anybody or affiliated with any of these people or whatever.
No, we just like to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
And we had an awesome time there, and the drinks and it's the only alcohol I could just drink straight up. It's just delicious. So.
Yeah, it was really good. And then a couple other podcasts started following us too, which was really cool. We have to go check them out, but the one that we were kind of conversing with a little bit was Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy. So we'll have to check out their podcast.
I already like them.
Yeah, we'll have to check them out. They have some really cool posts right now on their Instagram, and I guess we can tag all of theirs as well. But
yeah, we should.
Yeah, and then a bunch of new followers now.
Yeah, so thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And I mean, you're the reason that we do this. I mean, we do it for us, obviously, to have fun doing it, but we do it to entertain you. So thank you for following us and sharing it and everything.
Yeah, and if you have any feedback, anything you want to hear, anything that you want to correct us on or whatever, please feel free to reach out, comment, text the text or call our hotline, or you can send us an email or reach out on any of the social media platforms.
Yes.
So you got a couple of glasses over there. What's
I do. I gotta mix this. So we have our cocktail, and again, if you're new to the podcast, I usually screw up the names of stuff. And my phone is locked, and I always forget my password to things. So no, we're good.
Oh my God.
Do you know the name of the cocktail? Do you have it there or no?
I
have it right here. It's the Red Death Halloween cocktail because this is another one of our Halloween special episodes.
Yay.
So let me bust out the glasses here. There's a little ASMR. Maybe it'll actually be decent too, instead of us just like chewing random grossness in your ears because we usually eat chips and all the yummy stuff. But
yeah.
All right, let's get our glasses out here.
Yeah, is it the Red Death Halloween Martini?
That's the one.
Yeah.
We're going with the martini.
So
I hate martini glasses.
This episode or this drink comes from cravingSomeCreativity.com. It's a blogger, and she talks about it. It was inspired by Edgar Allan Poe's Masquerade. So that's where she came up with the idea for this drink. So
Is that going to be part of... Sorry if there's a little noise here. I'm trying to fix my microphone. It's apparently falling off of the stand. Is that part of the new show coming out? The new Edgar Allan Poe show coming out?
I don't think so, because I don't think there's been a whole lot. Like, I think it's still, like, in the shooting phase. I don't know that anything really has come out of that just yet.
Gotcha. My microphone's going down at some point in this episode.
Just like everybody in our episode.
Oh, snap.
Ooh.
All right.
So while you're mixing, I'll... This is so weird.
All right. There you go. There's our little shaky shake.
So, since Dale said this is another Halloween episode, so that means another spooky topic. So today is all about haunted and cursed movie and TV show sets. So there's, some urban legends in Hollywood about certain movies, TV shows, some that have been kind of... I love the show you're putting on.
I gotta show them what we're doing, right? And then you gotta get the old Sam's Cola in here.
Oh, a fresh bottle and everything.
Oh yeah,
you guys are getting the royal treatment.
Don't screw around. And what I'm pouring here is exactly 5 ounces of it.
That definitely wasn't 5 ounces, but that's okay. Don't fill it to the brim, because that looks like a disaster waiting to happen. Yeah. Are they 2 different sizes?
The glasses?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They look different. Oh well. Anyway, so yeah, there's urban legends and just theories surrounding certain TV shows, certain trilogies, certain series and movies, and yeah, we're gonna get into a bit of that.
Brit's saying we. She's being really nice. This episode, a couple episodes ago,
you're gonna
listen
react
to it.
More than anything.
Really did not do much on this one. She did everything on this episode, and by me not doing much, I mean I literally have done nothing for this one.
You made the drink.
I made the drink.
I found the drink.
You found the drink.
Didn't find the drink.
I did pretty much nothing for this episode. The last episode we did, the witch episode, we recorded it on
Sunday night
after a long weekend.
Yeah.
Of mega running long. Around, being up late every night. We took
the whole ass day at Hershey Park.
Yeah, we took our kids to Hershey Park on Sunday. 2-hour ride back. Got them to bed. Came out, recorded Sunday night. We were up until 2:30 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning recording.
Maybe something like that.
And then I had to edit everything on Monday to have it out by Tuesday morning for you guys. So
yeah, so we're trying not to be such procrastinators.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna go.
This will get better.
I'm trying.
Teamwork.
I think I was just born this way though. The only time I've ever been early in my whole life was the day I was born.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely the last time you
Absolutely early. It was. Yeah. I don't care. Yeah. I am who I am. you're tied in now. You're stuck. Yeah, so start off with a toast.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do it. I don't know which one you want.
I'll take the smaller one, I guess.
Slide that one there. All right.
God,
so this is
martini glasses.
I know, so do I, but they're really not that full. So
all right, a toast.
All right.
Let's see. This looks repulsive.
Ooh.
It tastes fantastic though.
That's really good. It's called witch's blood. Is that what I said?
Death.
Red death. Witch's blood. I'm still on the last episode apparently.
No. Yeah. So.
The red death.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. This is
Isn't
the
red death like that?
Red Death Halloween martini, and that's the red wedding. Is that where you're going?
No, I just fucked up in my head big time. I was going red tide, and I was like, no, this is not the red tide.
Like Crimson Tide? Like
no, that's Roll Tide, isn't it?
No, Crimson Tide is Alabama.
Yeah, no, the red tide is like a bacterial infection in the ocean or something. Yeah. Hopefully I'm not drinking that. I don't know. We did go to the Jersey Shore this year.
Stop it.
I know. We love New Jersey. We love our friends in New Jersey.
We do. Just stop with the fucking jug handles, will you?
Yeah.
I've had it.
Make a left turn every now and then. Don't be scared of it.
It's not that hard. Every other fucking state in the country does it.
Potentially.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is pretty good.
I like it.
Okay. Yeah, notice I don't have my computer in front of me tonight. So I will just be sitting here drinking, and you'll be getting genuine reactions to this stuff because I haven't read any of the outline. Again, I'm
Yeah,
just
and you're
a
also going to
deadbeat.
get some genuine reaction to our snacks too, because I decided that
It's just like a.
rather than like unwrapping like the little mini snack size
It's like Bean
chocolates,
Boozled, but it's chocolates.
but better. I
Yeah.
mean, it's nothing tastes like.
There's no dog shit in there or anything like
No, I don't
that.
even
Dirty
think. What is
diaper,
it? No, is it dirty diaper? What's there's like sweaty
skunk.
gym socks and
Ugh.
like garbage. But no, this I didn't want to be like unwrapping stuff constantly, but we had these little mini like fun size chocolates. So there's Three Musketeers, Milky Way, Midnight Milky Way, and Snickers in there.
The Midnights are the easy
And with the
ones to figure
exception of
out.
the Midnight Milky Way, everything else looks the same. So not really sure what we're going to be grabbing. And I only like two of the things that are in there. So you might get some
Nice.
real genuine reactions.
Oh, I know you're not touching the dark chocolate ones.
Absolutely not.
And I'm okay with
At
that.
least that's an easy.
Love some
I've
dark
got
chocolate. Also,
a 2/3 chance.
if
here.
you don't see, if you're not watching the video, you're just listening. You're not. I'm repping Phillies, right? They're actually they're playing right now in the game 2 of their series.
The Atlanta series. Yeah.
Yeah. And
So we're recording. It's Wednesday night.
yeah, we're recording it, and
We're like
they're
on a
middle of
mega
the
game
8th.
delay.
They're losing 3-0
Yeah,
right now.
we were kind of expecting that the game was going to be over by the time that we were recording, but they were a significant delay because of the rain in Atlanta.
But it is what it is.
Anywho, let's jump in.
We're going all
So,
over the place.
Yeah. Well, as far as like sequence, I really don't have any specific flow here. It's not chronological. It's not all movies. It's not all TV shows.
Okay.
It's just kind of like jumped around because there really wasn't any way to make it flow. So, so we're gonna start with Rosemary's Baby, which was a horror film.
Okay.
And I'm not going to get into too much about the plot of the films because I don't feel like that's the purpose, and I don't think that that really ties into a lot of what we're going to be talking about.
Doing a real time like Rotten Tomatoes action.
You can, yeah, that you can contribute something here.
What's it called?
You can make yourself useful.
Rosemary's
Baby.
Okay, so go ahead.
So starting at the beginning, the director is Roman Polanski, who was married to Sharon Tate. Does that name sound familiar to you, Dale?
No. Kind of.
Does Charles Manson sound familiar to you?
Yes, he does.
So
He was in one of our previous episodes.
Sharon Tate was 8 months pregnant, I believe.
Okay.
And she was murdered by 3 of the Manson family members.
Okay.
So her husband was the director of this movie.
Okay.
So that's kind of where some of the
Okay.
curse for this goes. Rosemary's Baby was filmed outside of the building where John Lennon ended up being assassinated.
Interesting.
The film's composer,
We also talked about that guy
in the same episode.
in the same episode
Yeah.
as Charles Manson.
Ooh.
Which episode? That was
That was the
Crimes, like,
Insane Inspirations.
yeah. Yep.
Go back and listen to the Insane Inspirations episode. That was really cool. So the film's composer, Christoph Komeda, fell off a cliff in Los Angeles and suffered a cerebral hemorrhage just months after completing his work on the film. After the fall, he went into a coma before finally passing away at the age of 38.
Wow.
And sad and coincidentally, his death mirrors a death in the movie of a character named Hutch. Which is super creepy.
Interesting.
The film's lead, Mia Farrow, was served divorce papers on set by her then husband, Frank Sinatra.
Oh, damn, Frank.
Roman Polanski fled the country after assaulting underage girls.
Yeah, so I saw it. Yeah, he had a bunch of
He's a
stuff
scumbag.
against him. Yeah.
He sort of spiraled after his wife died. He just lost his shit. He really was not the same.
Rape charges. And,
Yeah, all underage.
Yeah.
Robert Evans, who is a producer and occasional actor.
Chris Evans' his brother.
No.
Oh.
He spearheaded the production of Rosemary's Baby and then another movie, The Detective. He was convicted for possession of cocaine and tied to an execution-style elimination at the Cotton Club. And later in life, he suffered multiple strokes, one of them while giving a speech in honor of Wes Craven.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
The writer of the movie, Ira Levin, had the writer of the book. So the Rosemary's Baby is based on a book. So the writer is Ira Levin.
Got it.
It was a bestseller. they immediately snatched up the rights to the movie. But his life sort of crumbled after that. A year after the film was released, his wife left him. He began receiving targeted threats from the Catholic Church. Despite claiming that he never believed in witches or Satanism, he was told that he became terrified as he grew older, and
Terrified of what?
of just like the threats that he was receiving,
Oh,
and
okay.
just like life in general. He felt like he couldn't live.
Gotcha. Okay.
He 30 years after the release of Rosemary's Baby, he released a sequel called The Son of Rosemary, which did not do well.
No, well,
So
can I give you the...
yeah, give me.
So the
Is this the Rotten
Tomatoes
score?
on
Okay.
Rosemary's Baby, they gave it a 96%. The audience gave it 87. Have you ever seen this movie?
If I did, it was ages ago. I really don't remember.
Okay. And what was the other one? The Son of
Son of Rosemary. And I don't know if that one ended up becoming a movie. This was Ira Levin, who was the author of the book.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that one ended up
Gotcha.
becoming a
Yeah, I
movie
don't see
though.
it on here. I mean,
So I think it was just the sequel to the book.
okay.
The producer of the movie, William Castle, received approximately 50 pieces of hate mail a day
Wow.
at the height of the mania, and they were ruthless. One letter read, quote, "Bastard, believer of witchcraft, worshiper at the shrine of Satanism. My prediction is you will slowly rot during a long and painful illness which you have brought upon yourself."
Damn.
You want to know the kicker?
What's that?
He had severe kidney failure.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that is everything I have for Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary's Baby.
That's all, folks.
Yeah. Anywho, but yeah, we're gonna start it off with a bang. That, I'll be honest, that was not one I really had ever even heard about. I don't think I've seen the movie, and if I have, it was not anything that I really recall all that heavily.
Okay.
But any thoughts, comments?
I mean, that last one is more, that one's crazy. The hate mail, and then he died of kidney failure. But I mean, some of it, arrested for what? Having drugs.
I mean,
and I feel like that's just kind of
fleeing
Hollywood
the country
in
for
general.
assaulting underage girls isn't really a curse.
Yeah, you're kind of just a creep.
But if you think about it in terms of the sequence of events that happened after his wife was
Yeah,
brutally
I guess
murdered
that.
by the Manson clan, so
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
So the next one of my all-time favorites.
I want to preface this with I never saw Rosemary's Baby, and I never saw this one you're saying either. I've seen like every one after that, but not the. I'm assuming you're going after the OG on this one.
I'm not sure. I'm. Are you on the outline right now?
Yeah. Okay, just say what movie it is.
The Exorcist.
Yes.
Um.
Because there's many. There was remakes and like the whole.
No. You're talking about like the Exorcism of Emily Rose, like that kind of business, because they're not related at all.
No, but there was The Exorcist. There's apparently an Exorcist 3, so I'm assuming there was an Exorcist 2.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw any of those ones. I've seen.
Okay. I thought when you said you've seen the others, I was like, did you not see the
I've
first one,
I've
but then
seen,
you saw the sequels?
No.
That's
I've
weird.
seen like The Exorcist of Emily Rose, all the newer Exorcist
those
stuff.
are
I've
not
never seen
those are not in any way, shape, or form tied to this.
Yeah.
movie.
So the original Exorcist got an
Fan-friggin-tastic. Do yourself a
84%
favor.
on Rotten Tomatoes with an 87% audience score.
Okay. This drink has like almost like a chocolate covered cherry taste to it.
Yeah.
It's
I think
really
that's the
good.
razzmatazz.
I'm trying to figure out where the chocolatey is coming in.
I threw one of these
You didn't.
Snickers in
Shut
here.
up.
Threw a
Okay.
mystery chocolate
Shush.
in there.
All right, so for The Exorcist, Linda Blair, who played the main character of Regan, and Ellen Burstyn, who played Regan's mother, they both suffered serious back injuries while shooting the stunts where their respective characters were thrown all around the room.
Okay.
And if you haven't seen the movie, I
seen
feel like I
enough to
say this
know.
episode, get with the times, okay?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
That's me. I'm not with
It's
the
been
times.
a long time. I don't care.
Not with the times.
It's not a spoiler anymore. I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, there's, as you've seen in other um exorcism movies, there's like the levitating and the bed flies and they get thrown against the ceiling and all
Mm-hmm.
that shit. So yeah, that's pretty much what happens. Um
They get yeeted. That's
basically.
what it is.
So Burston, the mother, ended up with a very serious and permanent injury to her spinal cord.
Say Burston?
That's her last name,
Oh,
Burston.
okay. Go ahead. Sorry. I was like, that's a very strange first name. Go ahead.
No, Ellen Burstyn.
Gotcha. Okay.
Her last
Sorry.
name's
Go ahead.
Burstyn. The screaming in the one scene was actually genuine, and they ended up using it as the cut in the film.
I've actually heard that. Yeah.
And it was like a shriek in significant pain, but it was just so fitting for what was going on that they kept it.
Right.
So, Billy Graham, who I'm sorry, I've forgotten who he is in the film.
Isn't Billy Graham like a United Kingdom host of a TV show?
I don't think so. I don't think he's related to the film at all, but he's an evangelist. He went to the extent of claiming that a demon was actually present inside the film's reels. Like he was so convinced that.
What do you mean inside the reels?
Like in the actual, like celluloid reel film, like in the actual tape. Yeah.
Interesting.
There was a fire, very mysterious, very rogue. Nobody could kind of figure out what happened. It devoured the home, the set of the home, but left the room of Reagan, who was the little girl who was possessed, completely intact. The rest of the house on set was completely destroyed, except for that room. Crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I know. Like completely unharmed too, like absolutely unscathed. It was ridiculous. So there's an urban legend that says that anyone who was involved with the production was cursed for life. There were two characters, the mother of Father Karras and Brooke, the director, who died during the film's course. And those people actually died before the film was released.
Okay.
And this was such a severe situation that the curse spread to not only the people involved in the production and the making of the film, but to film goers and watchers. So Warner Brothers was actually sued by a film goer during the film's screening in 1974 because he claimed that he was so frightened by the film's subliminal imagery that he lost consciousness, slipped out of his seat, and broke his jaw by falling on the seat in front of him.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Just stick to going to see like Nickelodeon movies then.
Well, this was before Nickelodeon.
Come on, dude.
But they settled outside of court, and to this day, the sum of money that Warner Brothers gave him is still undisclosed. I'm so curious.
That's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. That makes me mad. I hope he falls in another one. I hope he goes to see another movie and falls.
On top of that,
Dead now,
a man
anyway.
who played a nurse in the film killed a reporter killed a reporter before The Exorcist was released. He confessed almost immediately, but he couldn't provide a motive for why he did it.
He just
felt like it, I guess.
Wow.
Yep. At the time, it was the highest grossing film, but audience reported having physical reactions to it, fainting, vomiting. One woman blamed a miscarriage on the film. It was said that anyone could be possessed by the film just by watching it, which is where Billy Graham's information about the actual real being haunted comes in. And it said that it, quote, gave evil a path to corrupt human souls.
By watching a movie.
Yep. It was protested in some cities and even banned in parts of the UK. Groups waiting in line outside the theater sometimes broke out into violence, which...
Whatever. If I'm waiting too long, I'm punching somebody.
Yeah,
too.
right. Like people wait in line for sneakers at Nike and start beating the shit out of each other. So like, let's not really,
People are kind of
Um,
crazy when it comes to
but
lines.
this is the thing that I thought
I
was
was about to punch somebody for a freaking hamburger at Hershey
I
Park.
would have the things I would have done for a French
Right?
fry that
So
day.
I feel it, dude. I
I was
feel it.
miserable.
I don't want to wait that long in a line either.
That was yeah.
Somebody was getting knocked out over a
So some
soda.
of the theaters, they were as they started realizing how people were reacting to the film, they started providing barf bags to the people who were coming in to
Good.
view the
They
film.
should.
Nuts.
They should.
I know.
I mean, movie theater floors are sticky enough, but
Why is the floor all sticky?
they got the ick.
The ick. All right.
All right. Let's see.
Moving on to The Omen.
Yeah.
Another awesome one. This is one that's been redone.
The OG, correct?
Yeah,
we're going
yes.
OG.
I'm always unless I say otherwise.
Okay.
But yes, this is the original.
All right. So
Gregory
the
Peck.
original. So this is actually kind of funny. The original got
Go ahead.
on Rotten Tomatoes got an 84% from Rotten Tomatoes, 80% from the audience. The remake
Seems
in 2006
I
got
mean, got like a 12.
a solid 26
Ooh.
from Rotten Tomatoes and 40% from the audience.
I think that's a bit generous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that the one with Liev Schreiber?
I don't know the answer to that.
The guy who was
possibly.
Wolverine's brother.
Yes.
And
Julia
Naomi
Stiles.
Watts. Oh. Wrong blonde chick.
And Seamus Davy Fitzpatrick.
Is he Damien?
The son?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So no, this is going back to the original with Gregory Peck. So The Omen was kind of the product of a movie executive and born again Christian named Robert Munger. He pitched the idea for it to be the next big blockbuster horror film, right on the heels of The Exorcist.
Okay.
So, production begins, or, they start filming and they, get their cast set up. And before filming could even begin on the very first day, like before anything happened, actor Gregory Peck's son committed suicide. And this starts a huge downward spiral.
Yeah.
Shortly after, Munger was really quick to warn everyone involved that although he hadn't had a change of heart, he knew that a movie set involving the son of the devil was sure to be cursed, welcoming all and any evil events. So, I mean, if that's not an omen in and of itself,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't mess with bad juju like that.
No, that's a little too much for me. I'm out.
So the first big thing to happen inside the cast is Gregory Peck reportedly canceled a flight that he planned for unknown reasons. He just was like, I'm not going. Some reports claim that the crew that was hired, that the crew hired the plane to use for the cast, but ended up not needing it. But
Okay.
there's really no confirmation of that. So either way, Peck doesn't get on the plane. Plane crashes the same day, killing all of the passengers on board.
Holy shit.
And when it hit the ground, it landed on a vehicle with members of the pilot's family inside.
No.
Yes. It's legitimate. You can verify it. I swear to God. What the
Wow.
hell are the chances of that?
Holy crap.
Here's the flying incidents don't stop there, though. While Peck was heading to England to shoot scenes, his airplane was struck by lightning. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but
I'm not as
airplane is
impressed
struck by lightning.
Okay.
During production, scriptwriter David Seltzer's plane was also hit by lightning.
Jeez.
A few weeks later, executive producer Mace Neufeld's plane was also hit by lightning.
I don't want to fly with these guys.
Right? No, never again. Nope. Set designer John Richardson was in a car accident, and his wife was beheaded in the accident.
What? That's some Final Destination shit.
He reports that the crash happened near a sign that read Omen, which was a town, OMMEN, 66.6 kilometers.
Stop it.
I'm just reporting. I'm just passing along the information. Don't shoot the messenger, man.
Wow, that's creepy. If that's true, that's creepy.
Oh, it doesn't stop there. There's more. Mace Neufeld, so the same guy, the executive producer who was the third whose plane got hit by lightning, he had an encounter that he quotes as more than coincidental when he, Gregory Peck, and other members of the cast and crew planned to dine out at a restaurant one evening. Before the group was to appear at the restaurant, the building was destroyed in a violent explosion.
Just blew up.
Blew the fuck up.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Like, these seem like, I mean, I don't want to say like sign from God because this seems maybe not from that direction, but
possibly a little further south of that.
Is that little Nicky? Deep south. So even the fucking animals couldn't escape this shit.
What do you mean?
There's a baboon attack scene in the movie, right?
In The Omen?
In the movie, in The Omen, yes.
Oh.
There's a baboon situation.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we switched over to like Congo or something.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, in The Omen. And the crew put a live baboon in the back of the car with Lee Remick, who played Damien's mother in the movie.
Okay.
To antagonize the ones that were meant to attack the vehicle. So they put this one in there to get them to just rouse them.
Right.
So instead of going after the baboon, or instead of going after the animals, I guess, the curse goes after the trainer. The trainer who was hired to assist in this scene was killed the very next day. He was killed by a fucking tiger. Grabbed him by the head and killed him instantly.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how the tiger ties in. I don't know if this was like shooting a separate thing for a different movie because I don't think that there was a tiger in that. But yeah, killed by a tiger.
Was this like Carol Baskin's husband or something?
I don't know. We don't know that he was eaten by tigers.
He may not have been killed by tigers. He was fed to tigers.
Covered him in sardine oil. So there's another animal incident that ensues before the filming finishes. Luckily, this one left death out of the equation. But
thank you.
When Gregory Peck's stuntman was attacked by trained Rottweilers in the big iconic cemetery scene, the dogs went into a fucking frenzy. They ignored commands from their trainer. They were they said that they were borderline possessed. But they were able to cause some heavy injuries, none of which were death, but yeah.
It's a they're Rottweilers, so I think,
but I mean,
they can lock down pretty good.
They went way off the rails, totally rogue. I guess you like that drink, huh, dude?
What drink?
Is there a hole in the glass?
There's my glass is
also,
leaking.
you're not talking as much as I am, so I'm not drinking as fast.
At all. I'm just drinking. I will probably make myself another one, but I'm gonna wait until
you'll wait for me.
Yeah, I'll wait for you.
That's nice.
I'll wait for you, because I'm a good guy. I might snack on all the cherries that are over here for the drink.
Go ahead, because I'm not gonna eat them.
Yeah, no, you're not.
All right.
I'll just take yours if you.
So the next one is Poltergeist.
Yes, Poltergeist, and I have that right here.
What you got?
1982. Rotten Tomatoes 87%, audience 79%.
Okay.
Smartly filmed, tightly scripted, and most importantly, consistently frightening.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Never saw it.
It's another good one. You didn't see enough.
I don't get out much.
You didn't see enough of the classics. You didn't see enough of the good.
I told you in one of the previous episodes, I never watched horror movies. I never watched them. Because my family wouldn't watch them. I'm a little bitch. Like, I'm not going to sit and watch it by myself.
Oh my God, I can't count how many times I was watching
now I can, obviously. But
well, yeah, because
I'm a grown-ass man.
Yeah, but you more so watch them by yourself because I fall asleep.
Yeah, well, that's true. But no, nobody ever watched them with me, so I didn't watch them. Yeah. And I feel like horror, like, yeah, you can watch a horror movie by yourself, but, like, I feel like a lot of the experience is watching it with people and, like, getting scared with other people.
I agree. Yeah.
So, yeah, but I never watched it. So this is another one to add to the list, I guess, of things that
this is a good one. Yeah. So this is one of the first that I remember hearing about like the set or the movie itself being cursed. So the little girl.
That one was a Snickers. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm very
I
happy
just
right
had a
now.
garbage freaking Three Musketeers.
Mm.
I
That one was a
suffered.
Snickers. I was a little creeped out because it was a little oozy from the side. Didn't know what it was.
That's disgusting. Ugh. I just told you, I'm just gonna poke holes in the bottom like I do in all the like all the Gertrude Hawk containers. I literally pick them up, stick my thumb through the bottom. If it ain't something I want, I put it back down. You never know the
Rude.
difference. Don't care.
Sorry, go ahead.
I am who I am. I make no apologies.
Rude ass bitch.
I don't care. I've been called so much worse. I don't give a shit. Anyhow, Carol Ann Freeling. She is the focal point of the movie. She's played by Heather O'Rourke. She was only 6 years old when the first Poltergeist film was released. Everyone just loved her. She had these gorgeous, huge eyes and blonde hair, and she was just like, she looked like a doll.
Okay.
However, in 1987, she was misdiagnosed with Crohn's disease.
Okay.
The following year, she becomes really ill. Her symptoms are like kind of blown off, like, she's got the flu. A day later, she collapses and suffers cardiac arrest.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So they misdiagnosed it.
Oh, horribly. Horribly.
So what did she have?
So she was airlifted to a children's hospital in San Diego, and she died during an operation to correct a bowel obstruction.
Okay.
And it was later believed that she had been suffering from a congenital intestinal abnormality.
Okay.
Which, I mean, at that... So when was this movie released? Do you have the year there for Poltergeist?
Yeah. 84, I think I said.
I thought that was the rating. 82?
Poltergeist. 82.
82. Yeah. Okay, so she was 6 at the time the movie was released. And she was misdiagnosed 5 years later, so at 11. And the following year she died, so she was 12.
Okay.
Like, that's awful. Ugh. So the girl who plays her older sister in the movie, Dominique Dunn, who played Dana Freeling.
It's Kirsten Dunst's little sister?
Dunn. Not Dunst.
Oh.
Dunn.
All right.
She separated from her partner, John Sweeney, in 1982, the year that the movie was released. In November of that year, he showed up at her house begging her to take him back. She refused. He grabbed her neck and choked her until she was unconscious and then left her to die in the driveway of the home.
Wow. Nice guy.
He was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison.
That's it?
But he was released after 3 years and 7 months.
Because he was just a model
brutally
prisoner.
fucking strangling his ex-wife or ex-partner. It doesn't say.
How did he only get 6 years to begin with?
Hell if I know, man.
What did he pay off for that?
I don't know. Maybe, what's his name? Johnny Cochran. What's his lawyer?
I don't know.
We'll talk about him later on, too. That's super fun.
Oh, shit. Okay.
All right. So, 2 other cast members also died. Not as unpredictable or mysterious. So the evil preacher, Cain, from Poltergeist 2, was played by Julian Beck. In 1983, he was diagnosed with stomach cancer, which ended up killing him soon after he finished the work on the second episode or the second movie.
Okay.
Will Sampson, who plays Taylor, the Native American shaman, died after undergoing a heart and lung transplant, which had a very slim survival rate anyway. So
yeah, so that's.
But I mean, also affiliated with the film, so worth mentioning.
Right. Agreed.
Here's something that's like, I wouldn't say maybe a direct result of the curse, but like maybe a cause of the curse. I don't know. Jo Beth Williams plays Diane Freeling, who's the mother of the 2 girls in the movie.
Okay.
She claimed that director Steven Spielberg insisted on using actual human skeletons as props in an attempt to save money because at the time they were cheaper than plastic skeletons, which is fucking insane to me that like real human bodies are
cheaper than plastic.
Not only cheaper, but like just readily available. Like, what do we do? Are we just grave robbing? Like, what's happening here? Who's digging this shit up? Where are you
Cadaver type deals, I guess.
I mean, most cadavers like donate their money to or donate their bodies to science,
Science.
not the fucking Steven Spielberg. What a dick.
I don't know.
Anyway, apparently her claim has never been verified, but it's something that's always kind of mentioned in the lore surrounding the curse.
Okay.
So Samson, who was the shaman, he performed an authentic exorcism after shooting wrapped up one night because he was so creeped out by the actual human skeletons. This kind of falls into Joe Beth Williams' claim.
Okay.
So he was so spooked that he was like, I can't, we've got to fix this. And he performed an actual exorcism because he was a real life medicine man. And apparently it super freaking creeped out the rest of the cast members, which
Yeah, I'd be a little creeped out
naturally,
about that too.
yeah, I would be.
Dead bodies laying
Yeah,
around, and
fuck
then
that.
he just does. Yeah.
I mean, I just find it hard to believe that Steven Spielberg has been in the industry for as long as he has, and this has not been like a main point of conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was like a no-name director, whatever. I feel like it wouldn't be as big of a deal, but that's surprising to me that that's never been, well, I've never heard of it before now. So, yeah. Moving on. We're going to talk about The Twilight Zone, the movie.
Twilight Zone. Another one that I've never seen.
I've never seen this one either, actually.
Probably not missing much.
But this is
Rotten.
fucking horrible.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 59%. Audience gave it a 55%. So it kind of got shit on.
Well, I'm about to shit on it a little more, so. So the star of the movie, Vic Morrow, and two child actors, Renee Shin-Yi Chen and Micah Din Lee, were tragically killed by a fucking helicopter.
Killed by a helicopter?
Yes,
not
not
like in a helicopter
helicopter
accident?
By a helicopter.
Give me more.
I got you. Morrow's character was supposed to scoop up a pair of Vietnamese children during an air raid in the movie, and he's supposed to scoop them up and run with them. The person flying the helicopter was Dorsey Wingo, who was a Vietnam veteran, now also a veteran of the film world. During the shoot, there were pyrotechnics going off to simulate explosions, and one of the fireballs hit the helicopter.
Oh, shit.
Sent it down, flying into the river, where the actors were.
Oh.
6-year-old Renee was crushed by the right skid of the helicopter.
Oh, my God.
It then fell over, and the blade killed Vic Morrow and 7-year-old Micah.
Holy shit.
The children had been hired illegally and were not working according to child labor laws.
Wow.
Yep. The studio claimed that this was an accident, which, I mean...
Okay. Yeah,
sure,
the helicopter,
the helicopter thing was an accident, but, like...
Stealing kids to be in
6
your
and
movies.
7. How the fuck are you not... I mean... Different times. But, I mean, this was only in 1985 that this lawsuit was. So, like, it's not that long ago.
That's crazy.
The suit
6 and 7, you said?
Yeah.
Wow.
The suit went to trial in Los Angeles in 85, where all of the defendants were acquitted of the charges.
Who were they paying off out there?
I don't know, man.
You can strangle your, what was it, wife, girlfriend, strangle
Your ex.
your ex,
Yeah.
and just get 6 years and then get out halfway through.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yup.
And
But
then
this movie was sort of a catalyst for some of the working laws in Hollywood to change. Some of the safety laws, pyrotechnics. You know, necessity is the mother of invention.
So all that had to happen was the 6 and 7-year-old had to die.
I mean, it would have been nice for it to not come to that, but I'm glad that there was some change.
I'm glad there was change too, but anyway, I guess that's neither here nor there.
All right, getting into another one of my favorites.
Yeah, this one I've seen.
You have?
Yeah.
That surprises me. I fucking love this movie.
I think I'm on the right one.
I never made you watch this, so this wasn't my doing.
Chases the butterfly, right?
Huh? Oh.
Shinedown reference?
I got it now.
What's the name of the movie?
The Crow.
Yeah.
But
That's a good
I
one.
thought you were talking about like a scene in the movie. I was like, I
No,
definitely
no.
don't remember butterflies. It was not
Yeah.
that. It was not that lighthearted.
No. So The Crow got a 84% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 90% from the audience.
That doesn't
Filled with
surprise me. Actually, the critic rating does surprise me a little bit. I thought it was fantastic, but we've said before, Rotten Tomatoes is incredibly stingy.
yeah.
All I know is this better be a Snickers, or I'm gonna be mad.
It's filled with style
God
and
damn it.
dark, lurid energy. It's an action-packed visual feast that also has a soul in the performance of the late Brandon Lee.
Mm-hmm.
You say that with such desire.
No. No, but
It
his
looks
story.
kind of Joker-ish.
I mean, he was based on a comic book character.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. So tell us about The Crow.
So Brandon Lee was the son of Bruce Lee. He was also met a very tragic young death. So from the beginning of production, filmmakers showed up on set to a voicemail message that said that bad things would happen if they made the movie. They still don't know where the message came from.
Okay.
On the first day of shooting, an electrician was backing up a cherry picker truck and hit the high tension wire on the power lines above.
Okay.
He was electrocuted and fucking caught on fire.
The truck or the guy?
The guy!
Oh my god.
He was electrocuted and caught on fire. They rushed him to the hospital. He was treated for second and third degree burns. He survived, but his ears had to be removed.
Why?
I don't fucking know. I guess it burned him bad enough that his ears had to be fucking taken off. Ugh.
It's a little weird.
A little. Shit. After that, a hurricane destroyed the Crow's backlot set. And from there, curse rumors start to spread.
Of course.
The big one is Brandon Lee's death. Now, do you know this story?
I don't. Is he part of the 27 Club?
I actually don't know the answer to that.
That'll be an episode in itself.
I don't know how old he was.
Britt will take the lead again on that one, but
If
let's
it-
see. I'll look that up. You go
Okay.
into that. I'll look up how old he was.
So there's a scene in the movie where Brandon Lee's character walks into a room to discover that his fiancée is being brutally beaten and raped.
Okay.
And a character named Fun Boy shoots him in the movie. Unfortunately, nobody noticed or recognized that a dummy round had become lodged in the barrel of the gun. So when they loaded it with the blanks, they didn't realize that there was a dummy round that had gotten
Already
stuck.
in there, yeah.
So when the blank rounds were loaded to then shoot and simulate the gunfire, there was still enough force generated for the cartridge that was lodged in the barrel to fire at virtually the same velocity that a real bullet would. It struck Lee. He fell backwards.
Okay.
And they initially didn't realize that anything had happened. Because he was supposed to have fallen forward in the shoot.
Okay.
And the director is yelling cut and he's not getting up, and they're like, what the hell's going on? And they realize it. They rushed him to the hospital, but he did later die at the hospital.
6 hours of emergency surgery, apparently. He was 28 years old. Not 27.
He was if I'm not mistaken, he was supposed to have gotten married like shortly after the movie was produced. I'm pretty sure he was engaged, and like his life was on a huge high. Like they were praising him. Like this was supposed to be his catapulting role. He was gonna do fucking great things.
Eliza Hutton.
Was that his fiance?
Yeah.
So when do they have like what his date of death was?
Yes. It was March 31st, 93.
And he was supposed to be getting married on April 17th, 93.
Wow.
So 3 weeks before his wedding.
Wow.
Fucking tragic. So sad. Bruce Lee, his dad, died from cerebral edema, which, I mean, I guess there's not really like a definite cause for him, but it's edema is just swelling, so swelling in the brain, which, you know, could be due to his martial arts background, but he
Right.
was only 32 when he died.
Okay.
So kind of followed a similar fate to his dad. Super sad. A
It
great
is.
movie, and he had a shitload of potential, and it would have been really cool to see what he was capable of. But
Yeah.
unfortunately cut short.
Yes.
So, what's up?
That's it for that one?
Yeah.
All right. So let's do, I guess let's do one more, and then we'll take a quick break.
Okay. Apocalypse Now. So this is another Vietnam.
Got great ratings on Rotten
What do you
Tomatoes.
have?
98%.
Really?
Rotten Tomatoes, and the audience was a 94%.
Wow. Okay. I do know that this was like heralded as one of the best films ever. So I actually have never seen this one, so I don't know. But
I've seen parts of it.
it's set in Vietnam, but it was shot in the Philippines. So Typhoon Olga destroyed several large sets, causing expensive shooting delays. The crew's payroll was stolen. Helicopters needed for one scene were diverted to attack Philippine rebels. Then once filming got back underway, one of the movie's big stars, Marlon Brando, shows up extremely overweight and absolutely fucking incapable of his lines. Like, just couldn't memorize them, didn't give a shit,
Wow.
and was humongous. So Coppola had to completely rewrite a large chunk of the movie to fit this gigantic friggin' change. Because not only is he just like not memorizing his lines, he also shows up not looking anything like he's supposed to. So they had really a big shift. Martin Sheen, another member of the crew and cast, struggled with alcoholism, ended up having a heart attack during production.
Wow.
One scene in which his character has a nervous breakdown in a hotel room depicted a drunk Sheen accidentally smashing a mirror and cutting his hand open. And the visceral, real footage was used in the film's final cut. But apparently, he was actually drunk, and part of that nervous breakdown was legitimate because of what he was going through, and he just sort of channeled all of that into the scene, and it was very, very real. And Coppola was also having serious issues throughout the production. He was bankrupt, or he was going to go bankrupt if the film failed. This was basically his only fucking shot. And then, you know, the difficult shooting location, and he was going through his own personal issues. He actually considered abandoning the project and just saying fuck it. And he also threatened suicide.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
yeah. What did you say, 98% on Rotten Tomatoes?
I think it was 94.
94. Almost didn't happen.
Yeah, almost didn't happen.
Yep, because Marlon Brando got fat, Martin Sheen was drunk, having a nervous breakdown, and Coppola was Coppola.
Yeah, it was 98%. 98 Rotten Tomatoes, 94 audience.
Yep.
All right, your drink's done.
My drink is empty.
My drink's been empty. So, let's take a quick break.
Yeah, let's do it. That was about the halfway mark anyway.
Awesome. We'll be back.
We're back. Anyhow, so jumping into some more movies.
Bring it back.
So these next two it's weird because they're movies that were never even actually made. So
Okay.
if it's possible, it was cursed like before anything even came to be. So the first one is called The Confederacy of Dunces.
Sounds dumb.
I mean, I agree, but wait.
So these aren't Rotten Tomatoes worthy anyway because they were never made.
No.
Okay.
So, the first instance of the movie was supposed to have been directed by Harold Ramis and star John Belushi. What do you think happened to John Belushi, babe?
He ditched the movie so he could go to the Blues Brothers.
He died.
Yeah, I know.
The next person to sign on to play the lead, John Candy.
Ooh.
Also, bit the big one. Next,
Both heart attacks, right?
Chris Farley.
Hmm.
Yeah, I believe all 3 were heart attacks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
A
Because they
version.
were all overweight alcoholics.
I mean, yeah. So a version starring Will Ferrell was supposedly in the works, was supposed to have been moving forward towards filming, but I guess somehow
Will Ferrell?
yes, so something to do with the movie has to do with like killing off Will Ferrell's character, and they basically said that it was too predictable, so they just basically said screw it. Um, and the head of the LA State, Louisiana State Film Commission was murdered in the movie, and it actually Hurricane Katrina ended up destroying parts of the city that would have been needed for locations, so the film was never made.
Wow. They got it from all angles.
Yep. So this next one is virtually the same fucking story. Atuk, Atuk,
Never heard of it.
is another one where it was
Yep.
just never fucking made. And all 3 of the same people signed on in the exact same order. John Belushi,
No way.
yep, John Candy, and Chris Farley.
Damn.
The difference is that Sam Kinison, the comedian, was supposed to have been the next in line. And
Sorry, I'm struggling over here.
those chips are so fucking
just
hot.
eating
I
these
can't.
Hot ones,
they're-
scorching hot Pringles. Holy crap. These are the lighter of the 2 that we got. My
Those
mouth
the
is
green
on
ones?
fire.
Yeah.
Yes, my mouth is on fire. Holy
We
crap.
both love hot stuff too, like spicy food, buffalo, all of the hot. And yeah, those are rough. They're hard to
I
tolerate.
feel like I need milk now.
Ew. So yeah, so Sam Kinison was next slated to be part of the film, and he demanded creative control of the project and basically wanted to rewrite major parts of the script and basically have like entire control over the situation. And he is such a fucking baby about it that when they basically gave him pushback, he said that he would do a bad job acting if he didn't get his way.
Wow.
And
Nice.
then, you know, there were lawsuits, there was a whole bunch of back and forth, and then he died in a car crash. So
Jesus.
super. Yeah, so neither of those 2 ever came to fruition.
Yeah, I would definitely see all of that being
Yeah.
very big setbacks for movies.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about 2 of the biggest TV shows now. So first one, we're going back quite a bit here. Different Strokes.
Great one.
I love Different Strokes. It was so good.
Great one.
So Todd Bridges pretty famously struggled with drug-related problems. He had a cocaine addiction during his 20s. He was arrested in 1988 for the murder of a drug dealer, represented by Johnny Cochran, and acquitted of all charges. Now, he was in a drug gang, and one of the members was killed. It was pinned to Todd Bridges, but somehow or another, he was not actually the one who did it, supposedly.
So they say.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Gary Coleman, the next year, makes headlines when he sues his parents for misappropriation of funds.
Okay.
2 years later, Dana Plato is fucking broke as shit and began working at a dry cleaner's.
Okay.
She also appeared in several B-rated films, porn movies, and then held up a video store in 1991 for $200.
Wow.
Next year, 92,
$200.
she is arrested for forging a prescription.
Okay. So
93.
Kind of spiraling.
Yeah. In 1993, Todd Bridges stabs a man with a knife and gets off on fucking self-defense.
Todd Bridges is which one?
That's Willis. He's the one who had the cocaine addiction, already got acquitted of the murder of the drug dealer.
He stabbed the man.
Self-defense.
Self-defense.
I don't know.
Stabbed him
Whatever.
right in the kneecaps.
98, Gary Coleman makes headlines again when he punches a female bus driver while working as a mall security guard. He was sentenced to pay hospital bills.
Okay.
Following year, he files for bankruptcy.
Okay.
In the same year, 1999, Dana Plato was living with her boyfriend in an RV and ODs, which was ruled a suicide.
Fair.
Yeah. 2007 and 2009, Gary Coleman. On two separate occasions, police respond to reports of domestic violence or domestic disturbances between him and his wife.
Okay.
2010, Dana Plato's son, Tyler Lambert, also commits suicide.
Wow.
Later that same year, Gary Coleman dies due to complications from a brain hemorrhage.
Okay.
Now, brain hemorrhage aside, the rest of that shit ain't a curse. I'm sorry, that
was
is
just
your
gonna say.
typical child actor spiraling the fuck out.
That's nothing. Yeah, I was just gonna
That's
say that it's
just
not a curse at
that's
all.
people
That's
who
just somebody
should
being an
not
asshole.
be in charge of their own money, not knowing how to fucking handle it, and then
Right.
spiraling the fuck out of control.
Yeah, that's definitely not a curse. That is.
Poor life choices.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Okay.
So this next one, I fucking believe in wholeheartedly. We're gonna talk about Glee, which I know you love so much.
I didn't hate it.
It got real fucking awful towards the end there. All right, so July 13th, 2013, 31-year-old Corey Monteith, who played Finn Hudson on the show, found dead in a room of a Fairmont Pacific Rim Hotel in Vancouver, Canada. An autopsy performed 2 days later revealed that he died due to an accidental overdose of heroin mixed with alcohol. At the time, he was dating his fellow cast member, Leah Michelle,
right?
who played Rachel Berry on the show.
Was he 27?
31.
Okay.
Is that all you're going to ask me about these people?
Maybe.
The following year, July 2014, 35-year-old Matt Bendick, who was the boyfriend of Beck Bendick. Okay. Yeah, you heard that right.
Just making sure I heard that correctly.
Becca Tobin played Kitty Wilde on the show. Matt was her boyfriend. Okay. He was found dead in a hotel room due to cardiac arrest in mysterious circumstances. It's hypothesized that he was suffering from high stress levels due to a business-related event. And an autopsy soon revealed that he had no drugs in his system.
Okay.
Heart attack at 35 years old.
35 years old. And who found him?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
He just was found dead.
I thought you said something about his girlfriend.
No, so he was not a member of the show. His girlfriend was.
Gotcha. Okay.
His girlfriend was a cast member.
Okay.
And then he, whatever.
Okay. All right.
August of 2014. I can't even believe I'm about to say this phrase out loud. The fappening scandal.
Oh my God.
Yep. Forgot about that one, didn't you?
Did.
Among the personalities whose photographs were leaked, then 27-year-old Heather Morris, who played Brittany Pierce on the show, her pictures were some of the ones that were leaked. Now, again, I don't know how much that fits into a curse as much as like maybe just not great life decisions, but
yeah,
hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Also, just shit luck. December 2016, Melissa Benoist, who plays Marley Rose, and Blake Jenner, who plays Ryder Lynn, they had been married for 3 years. Melissa filed for divorce citing irreconcilable differences, which, I mean, again, not really part of the curse, but both of them on the show.
Okay.
I mean, you don't really mix business and pleasure. All these people who date their co-stars, it always seems to end shitty. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, maybe learn from other people's mistakes.
I'm not learning from my own right now, and I'm eating more.
You're eating more? You're fucking nuts.
I can't do the chocolate.
December 2017 and into January 2018, Naya Rivera, who plays Santana Lopez, was charged with domestic battery after physically injuring her then husband, Ryan Dorsey, after a brief discussion where she was under the influence of alcohol. They divorced shortly after and divided custody of Josie, who was their only son. Later in January 2018, 35-year-old Mark Salling, who played Noah Puckerman, committed suicide by hanging after being trialed and eventually arrested in December of 2015 due to charges over possession of child pornography and allegations of pedophilia and sexual abuse. Again,
not a curse.
Don't be a shithead.
Don't be a shithead.
Just like it literally costs you $0 to be a good person. Come on. And like he was 30 fucking 5. Ugh. I mean, not that it makes it any better, but like if he was the age of the person he was playing on the show and he was like closer.
Nope.
I mean,
Still a
it's
scumbag.
right, but child pornography isn't, not that I'm justifying it in any capacity, but anyone under the age of 18
Right.
being
I know.
in that revealing setting is considered child pornography. So
Right.
I don't know, 16, 17, 18, maybe not such a big deal, but like 35, that's a decades. That's disgusting. Anyhow, December 5th, 2018, Jesse Luken, who played Bobby Surratt, was involved in a single-person car crash in California. He was under the influence of drugs, and although no one was injured, he was charged with bail and released a couple hours after the incident.
Okay.
Again, not really a curse. Mid-June, 2020, Leah Michele is publicly accused of racism and mistreatment allegations from former castmates, largely from Samantha Ware, who played Jane Hayward. She claimed that Leah Michele stated that if she had the opportunity, she would, quote, shit in your wig.
Wow. Classy.
Yep. That's fucking disgusting. Like,
Leah,
again,
who said this?
Leah Michele.
Leah Michele said
That doesn't surprise me a bit.
That
I just think
surprises
she's, ew, I think she's awful. She just seems like such a bitch. She seems like such a fucking diva.
I could see that.
She's
but
got
shit in your wig.
She's got all the diva energy. I can't deal with her.
It's a bold statement.
Mm-hmm.
Shit in your wig. I like it. I think it's funny.
But like, for what fucking reason?
I don't know.
Just to be awful? And then July 8th, 2020, 33-year-old Naya Rivera, again, who played Santana Lopez, disappears while boating, with her 4-year-old son, Josie, on Lake Piru.
I remember hearing this.
After failing to return their boat at the time that their rental was up, authorities find Josie sleeping alone on the boat. And according to him, she disappeared after she helped him onto the boat, but didn't get on herself. She was presumed dead by drowning. 2 days after the disappearance, her ex-husband took over Josie's custody, and then her body was found 5 days later.
I remember hearing that.
And I just remember being like, not that I was a huge Glee fan, but I watched it. It was funny. It was, whatever. But I remember just thinking, my God, how terrible for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and, Casey's 5. So, like, I can't imagine him being alone on a boat, knowing that I helped him onto the boat and then didn't come up. Mm-hmm. Like, that's got to be awful for him. He's going to remember that to some extent.
Yeah.
So this next one is a little less lengthy. There was a show called Leo and Me, and it starred Michael J. Fox, among others. Now, in 2002, an investigation was launched into the show after an unusual cluster of Parkinson's disease cases was noted among former cast and crew members.
Interesting.
Fox and director Don Williams were among the 4 with the disease, along with a writer and a cameraman. Donald Kane, who is a Vancouver neurologist, said the incidence of Parkinson's in society is about 1 in 300. And 4 of the 125 people on the Vancouver set of Leo and Me developing the disease could be coincidental, but it's intriguing and it might be something that they were exposed to.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be.
I mean,
if there were that many...
4 in 125 is like a 3.2% occurrence. 1 in 300 is 0.3%. That's a big jump.
Yeah, it's pretty significant.
Yeah. So the next one, you might not know this one by name, Our Gang. But you'll know some of these characters as I pull them out for you.
Okay.
Chubby, who is Norman Chaney. Well, here, I'll preface this. These are the Little Rascals. The original show was called Our Gang.
Gotcha.
And a lot of them, their actual names on the show were their real life names. That's where the character names came from.
Gotcha.
They actually played themselves. After 2 years on the show, Norman Chubby Chaney returned to his hometown of Baltimore, where he lived a normal life until he became very ill in 1936 and passed away at just 21 years old. He apparently suffered from a long-term glandular disorder and had myocarditis, which is an inflammation of the heart muscles.
Okay.
Bobby Weezer Hutchins left the show in 1933 and several years later enrolled as an air cadet in the Merced Army Airfield Base in California. In 1945, he crashed into another aircraft mid-air collision and immediately died from his injuries at only 20 years old. The other pilot only sustained minor injuries and ended up surviving. Billy Froggy Laughlin decided that he didn't want to pursue acting anymore, so he became a normal teenager, went back to high school.
Mm-hmm.
One day in 1948, he and his friend were riding a motorized scooter when a driver named John Wilbrand took an unexpected U-turn and an oncoming truck smashed into them. He died at the hospital about 6 hours after the crash, but Wilbrand, who was driving the motor scooter, sustained only minor injuries. Laughlin was only 16 years old when he died.
Well, it's a shame.
Carl Alfalfa Switzer didn't have an easy time after the show ended either. He did take on some acting jobs, but he got into trouble drinking heavily, got in trouble with the law. In 1959, he got into a dispute over money, and the person that he got into this dispute with was Moses Samuel Stilts, who ended up shooting and killing him. He was only 31 at the time of his death. Mickey Daniels had a fairly successful young career, but he quit the industry and became a taxi driver until his death. He began drinking heavily and was found dead in a San Diego hotel in 1970. He died of cirrhosis of the liver at 55.
Okay.
After the show ended, Darla Hood went on to appear in numerous films. She also died unexpectedly. In 1979, she was admitted to the hospital for an appendectomy, and what should have been a routine surgery ended up tragic for her. The blood that she was given in a transfusion contained hepatitis.
Oh, wow.
Which caused her to have congestive heart failure shortly after the surgery at only 47 years of age.
Holy crap.
Buckwheat William Thomas died at 49 of a heart attack. Brisbane Kendall McCormiss committed suicide at 64. Steiny Matthew Baer led a life of crime and drugs and died of a stroke at 56. Scotty Beckett died at 38 following a brutal beating. Pete the Pup poisoned by an unknown assailant.
Asshole.
And Spanky, Robert Blake, was accused of murdering his wife but was acquitted.
Was Cochran his
I don't know.
his lawyer?
If the glove does not fit. I don't know.
Wow. Little rascals getting into some trouble.
Little rascals turn into big rascals, damn.
So is that a curse, though, again? Or is it just age catching up to them?
I don't know. Some of them were pretty rough. I mean, that fucking hepatitis from an appendectomy, the 16-year-old motor scooter accident.
There was a lawsuit there.
I mean, that's but, you know, there's a lot for them. That was a lot of people. So one of the big older curses is the Misfits. It was a Clark Gable film. November 6, 1960, Clark Gable suffers chest pains and transported to Presbyterian Hospital in LA, where he was diagnosed as having suffered a coronary thrombosis. After 2 days in the hospital, he appeared to be doing better. Life support was removed, but on November 16th, so 10 days after the initial chest pains, he suffered another heart attack that immediately killed him. And The Misfits was the last movie that he completed.
Okay.
Marilyn Monroe was another star of the film, found dead in the bedroom of her Brentwood home by her psychiatrist after he was called by her housekeeper. She was 36 years old at the time of her death, ruled to be acute barbiturate poisoning, and listed as probable suicide. Many detectives, including Jack Clemens, the first LA Police Department officer to arrive at the death scene, believed that she was murdered. However, no murder charges were ever filed. The death has since become one of the events spawning the most conspiracy theories of all time.
Yep.
And we're going to talk
about that.
It's a big
one.
We're not going to get any more into that because that's going to be a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Next one. July 22nd, 1966. Clift. Hold on. What was his name? Why? Sorry, I don't have his full name in here, and I don't know why.
Who is it?
Just a moment. Clift. Montgomery Clift. Sorry, I didn't have his first name. July 22nd, 1966, Montgomery Clift had spent most of the day in his bedroom because it was hot as shit in New York City. He and his live-in personal secretary, Lorenzo James, had not spoken much all day.
That must be nice.
Shortly before 1, James went up to say goodnight to Clift, who was still awake and sitting in his bed. James asked Clift if he needed anything. Clift politely refused, told James he would stay up for a while to either read a book or watch some TV. James then noted that The Misfits was on TV that night, airing as a late-night movie, and he asked Clift if he wanted to watch it with him. Absolutely not, was the firm reply, and this was the last time Montgomery Clift spoke to anyone. At 6:30 a.m. the next day, Clift was found dead. Death was ruled as a heart attack, and no foul play was suspected.
So the Misfits killed him? Is that what the...
So, I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Interesting.
So Montgomery Clift was an actor in the movie.
Right.
And then I guess his friend was like, "Oh yeah, your movie's on. You want to watch it?" And he was like, "Fuck that."
I want to do it. Right.
And then he died. So another one that has a lot of conspiracy around it and stuff I found was not true. The Wizard of Oz. So, contrary to popular belief, or maybe this is just the internet fake news,
Mandela effect, could be anything.
there was not actually a little person who hung himself.
Is that the politically correct term?
Little person?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, munchkins and midgets are not acceptable. It's little people.
Okay.
And if that's not right, please feel free to correct me. But last I heard was that little people was the correct terminology. I do know that dwarfism is still an accepted term, though. So I don't know if dwarf is still acceptable. I don't think it is.
I have no idea.
I still use little person. I don't know if that's right.
I have no clue.
So whatever. A person.
A person. A vertically challenged human.
I'm vertically challenged. Anywho, that was not legitimate. So
okay. So there was no little person hanged, and you can see their shadow and all that stuff. Okay.
The first person originally cast in the role of the Tin Man was Buddy Ebsen, but he was essentially poisoned by the makeup, which was made of
lead poisoning?
Pure aluminum dust.
Oh my gosh.
9 days after filming started, he was hospitalized, sitting under an oxygen tent. When he was not getting better fast enough, the filmmaker said, "Fuck you," and hired Jack Haley to be the Tin Man instead. This time, instead of applying the aluminum powder, they mixed it into a paste and painted it on him instead. He did develop an infection in his right eye that needed medical attention, but it was treatable. So
what the hell?
Poisoned by the fucking makeup. Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West.
Okay. Is that the one that got crushed?
No, that's the Wicked Witch of the East, I believe. Okay.
She came down in a bubble?
Don't go there. Don't fucking do it. Grow up.
Get educated.
Grow up. Anyhow. Also, we have to put the link for that video.
We'll link
if
the
you
video.
haven't seen that one,
it is the best video. It's a very short one. It's the best video. I think it was like a Vine video.
It absolutely was Vine.
Oh my god. Wicked Witch of the East, bro.
She wore a crown and she came down in a bubble, Doug.
Oh, so funny.
Yes. Anyhow. Margaret Hamilton got burns from the makeup, and the makeup artist had to rush to remove her copper makeup so that it wouldn't seep through her wounds and become toxic.
What people thought that putting metal inside of makeup was a good idea anyway?
I mean, the same people.
What time
who
was
put
this?
What
was the year this was?
I don't know.
filmed?
Were you? I thought you were gonna look up.
Oh,
Our
well, yeah, we were on a kick
wait.
of stuff
Oh,
that
so
wasn't actually
you didn't do Misfits.
tomatoes. Hold on, let's do
Let's do Wizard of
Wizard
Oz because we're
of
on that, and then we'll go
Oz.
back.
Rotten Tomatoes Wizard of Oz was all right. So it came out. Oh my God, it came out in 1939.
Yeah.
Okay. Got a 98 from Rotten Tomatoes and an 89 from the audience. And then what was the other one? The
The Misfits. Backing up a smidge here.
And that is from 61, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
That one, 97 and a
Wow.
78 by the audience.
Okay.
The 97% only comes from 31 reviews, though. So,
Yeah. Okay.
wow, that was a long movie for its time. It was over 2 hours. The Misfits.
Wow.
That's a long time for
It is a long time.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway.
Back to Wizard of Oz.
So Margaret Hamilton, she copper makeup removed so that it wouldn't seep into her wounds and become toxic. Unlike Buddy Ebsen, though, she doesn't get fired because they could live without her on the set for a couple weeks and she was fine. She was allowed back. They didn't.
Oh, how
fucking hire
sweet of
somebody else,
them!
right?
Did they have to slap the copper stuff on her face again?
I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
So an actor who played one of the Wicked Witch of the West soldiers accidentally jumped on top of Toto. Carl Spitz, the dog trainer on set, told them that the dog, who was a female cairn terrier named Terry, sprained its foot.
Stupid name.
And they had to find a canine double. Terry did end up recovering and returned to the set a few weeks later.
Well, that's good. Poor
All
Terry.
is well when the dog doesn't die.
Yeah. Oh,
Damn
poor
you,
pup.
I Am Legend.
Poor
Still
pup.
not over it. Fucking Samantha. In a memoir by Judy Garland's third husband, Sid Luft, published posthumously in 2017, he writes that after bar hopping in Culver City, the actors who played the Munchkins would make Judy's life miserable by putting their hands under her dress. So there's sexual assault allegations as well.
I heard that there were and I don't know if you debunked any of that. I heard there was a lot of sexual
Like
stuff.
orgies.
Yeah, because there were so many little people in one area, on one set, and it was just like, oh my God, we're never gonna see this many of them together.
So
again.
I didn't get into that because it wasn't really what we were looking into, but I actually do think that was legitimate.
Yeah, I believe it. I've heard the same thing about the Olympics. Like, there's so many top
Oh,
athletes
yeah.
together in the world. It's just like
You've got some of the most attractive and physically fit people in the entire world in one place.
Right.
What do you think is going to happen?
Give birth to the giants.
So the last bit, Judy Garland was only 16 when she made The Wizard of Oz, and subsequently struggled with depression, eating disorders, started at a very young age, continued for the rest of her life. She claimed that the studio executives gave her uppers and sleeping pills so that she could keep up with the demanding pace of show business.
Jesus Christ.
She struggled with a drug addiction and attempted suicide several times before she died of an accidental overdose in 1969 at 47.
Wow.
All right, we got two more here. The Conqueror.
The Conqueror.
Yep.
Okay.
The last one I won't need a Rotten Tomatoes for. This will be the last one for that.
The Conqueror. What's somebody's name in that, actor-wise?
Agnes Moorehead, John Wayne,
Yeah, okay.
Susan Hayward, Pedro Armendariz.
1956.
Yep.
Rotten Tomatoes. We have no tomato score.
What?
Audience score 11%.
Ooh, nice.
Rough.
So cast and crew totaled 220 people. By 1981, 91 of them had developed some form of cancer and 46 had died of the disease.
91 out of how many?
220.
Some form of cancer. Were they painting them with aluminum paint?
No.
Okay.
But I believe that shooting was somewhere near a nuclear...
Right inside of a nuclear power plant?
Not inside.
We're drinking the nuclear runoff.
Director Dick Powell died of cancer in 1963. Pedro
Vote for
Armendariz
Pedro.
killed himself in June of 1963 after getting his diagnosis and said, fuck that, I'm not going to live like this.
Good for him.
Agnes Moorehead died of cancer in April of 1974. Susan Hayward in March of 1975. John Wayne, who first contracted lung cancer in September of 64, finally died of stomach cancer in June of 1979. Also, fucking chain smoker, so like lung cancer was sort of not really all
that's
that
kind
surprising.
of what I was thinking there. He probably
And I
did dip
believe it was either Susan Hayward or Agnes Moorehead. Both, one of them was also a pretty heavy smoker as well.
Like that's the times.
Yeah, I mean,
Smoking
you could
was a
smoke
thing.
on airplanes then.
You smoke wherever you wanted, dude.
Cast member actor John Hoyt died of lung cancer in 1991. And several of John Wayne and Susan Hayward's relatives also had cancer scares as well after visiting the set. Michael Wayne developed skin cancer. His brother Patrick had a benign tumor removed from his breast, and Hayward's son Tim Barker had a benign tumor removed from his mouth.
Interesting. So there was something cancer causing where they were.
Clearly. Yeah. But not all the same kind of cancer. Some were lung, some were stomach, some it didn't specify, but yeah. Now the last one. This is a biggie. This is one of the probably the most profound ones, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
The Superman curse.
The Superman curse.
The Superman curse.
Okay. I don't need to look anything up for that one.
Nope. No, because there's too much between movies and shows and all of it.
So is this similar to like the fat suit curse?
What the hell is the fat suit curse?
Like anytime an actor puts on a fat suit, their career, like 90% of the time, their career's done after they put a fat suit on.
Are we talking about like Gwyneth Paltrow and Eddie Murphy, who both like afterward?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, this isn't like that.
All right.
Kirk Alyn, who played Superman in the 1940 series, failed to find work after because he was too closely identified with the role.
Makes sense.
He did later appear as Lois Lane's father in the 78 film. He had Alzheimer's disease and died in 1999 at the age of 88.
Okay.
He lived a decent life.
Yeah.
Lee Quigley played Superman as a baby in the 78 film. He died in 1991 at the age of 14 from a heart attack.
14.
Yep. George Reeves played Superman in the 1951 film.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called Superman and the Mole Men. And then there was a television series, The Adventures of Superman.
Okay.
He was too closely associated with the role to find further work, kind of typecast. On June 16th, 1959, just days before he was supposed to be married, he was found dead of a gunshot wound with his Luger near him.
Okay.
The death was ruled a suicide, but controversy surrounds the death as Reeves' fingerprints were never found on the gun. And he had been having an affair with the wife of MGM executive Eddie Mannix. It was Reeves' death that inspired the conspiracy theories and the urban legend of a curse surrounding the character.
Okay.
The next one to play is Christopher Reeve. Played Clark Kent and Superman in the 78 to 87 series.
Mm-hmm.
And then Superman the movie, Superman 2, Superman 3, Superman 4.
Yeah.
He was so closely identified with the character. Again, difficult for him to find lead parts in other films. He was paralyzed from the neck down after being thrown from his horse in a cross-country equestrian riding event on May 27, 1995.
Mm-hmm.
He died in October of 2004 at 52 years old. No official autopsy was performed on the actor, but both his wife and his doctor believe that an adverse reaction to a drug caused his death.
Okay.
Marlon Brando played Jor-El in the 78 film. He had some pretty significant misfortune in his personal life. His son Christian shot his half-sister Cheyenne's boyfriend in 1990 and then was subsequently imprisoned for 5 years.
Did he get out early?
That's all. By Brando's own admission, he failed his son and daughter. His daughter's 1995 suicide, or his daughter died in 1995 by suicide. He
Okay.
died in 2004 at 80 years old, 3 months before his Superman co-star Christopher Reeve died.
Okay.
Margot Kidder, who played Superman's love interest Lois Lane, opposite Christopher Reeve, was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. 1996, she went missing for several days and was found by police in a paranoid delusional state. She does not believe in the curse. She basically was like, it's a newspaper created rubbish. The idea cracks me up.
Yeah.
What about the luck of Superman? When my car crashed this August, if I hadn't hit a telegraph pole after rolling 3 times, I would have dropped down a 50-foot to 60-foot ravine. Why don't people focus on that? That doesn't seem like good luck to me.
Still kind of a car crash.
Right, still kind of shitty. I mean, I guess she was lucky to be alive, but
yeah, I see where she's
anyway.
going with it, but
well,
poor example.
not for that much longer. So, May of 2018, she dies of a drug and alcohol overdose, ruled a suicide. Comedian Richard Pryor, who had a previous drug addiction,
Yeah.
led to a near fatal suicide attempt. He played villain Gus Gorman, and then later took Superman's side near the end of the movie, becoming a hero.
Okay.
3 years later, he announced that he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and died of a heart attack in 2005 at the age of 65.
Okay.
Actress Dana Reeve, the widow of actor Christopher Reeve, despite being a non-smoker, died of lung cancer in 2006 at the age of 44.
Ooh.
Yep. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster were the creators of Superman. They sold the rights to their creation to DC Comics for like pennies.
It's all it was worth.
DC.
DC.
We're a Marvel family.
Yeah.
Oh well. Schuster's eyesight began worsening by the 50s, preventing him from drawing, and he worked as a delivery man in order to earn a living after that. He delivered a package to the DC building, embarrassing the employees. He was summoned to the CEO, given $100 and told to buy a new coat and find another job. By 1976, he was almost blind and living in a California nursing home. In 1975, the other creator, Jerry Siegel. Jerry Siegel launched a publicity campaign in which Schuster participated, protesting DC Comics' treatment of him and Schuster. In the face of a great deal of negative publicity over their handling of the affair, DC's parent company, Warner Communications, reinstated the byline, dropped more than 30 years prior, and granted the pair a lifetime pension of $20,000 a year plus health benefits.
In what year was this?
In 1975.
Okay, so 20,000 a year is not bad in 75, right. I feel like.
Siegel died in 96 and Schuster in 92.
Okay.
Max and Dave Fleischer of Fleischer Studios, who produced the Paramount Superman cartoons, were like fucking Liam and Noel Gallagher from Oasis. They were at each other's throats. They could not fucking work together. They ended up just selling to Paramount because they were like, we can't fucking do this. The new owners fired the brothers. Max died in poverty in a film industry charity hospital.
Jesus Christ.
3 people involved in the creation of the Superman Returns DVD.
Wait, hold on. I'm more surprised at the fact that there's a film industry charity hospital. So this hospital is just for people who went broke in the film industry?
I don't know. I'll find out more.
That's infuriating. But okay, go ahead.
So again, the curse strikes. 3 people involved in the creation of the Superman Returns DVD were injured. One of them fell down a flight of stairs, another was mugged and physically assaulted, and a third was smashed into a glass window. The director remarked, quote, "My DVD crew absorbed the curse for us." What a fucking thing to say.
Wow. Well, his DVD crew looking out for him.
And again, not that this one is, I don't really buy that this is part of the curse, but worth mentioning. Allison Mack plays Chloe Sullivan on the TV series Smallville. She was accused of sex trafficking and forced human labor and was arrested in April of 2018. And an article on Fox News speculated whether this was related to the curse. She was sentenced to 3 years in prison in June of 2021.
It's not a curse. She was trafficking people.
Right. She's, again,
That's not a curse.
don't be a crappy person.
Yeah. Is that what you got?
That's what I got. Some heavy shit.
So here's my thing.
What you got?
Some of the movie ones, okay. I could see the curse behind them. Specifically like the Omen, Poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the later ones you talked about, though, that's just people being assholes. Like child traffic, like that's just, it's criminals is what it is. It's not bad omen, or it's not a curse. I don't think. Like even the crow is I feel like that could be a curse.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, I could definitely see it with the horror movies. But
Yeah.
again, how much I guess it's substantiated by people dying and things like that. But I was gonna say how much of that was a publicity thing. But
I don't think any of
probably
it.
not. But yeah, those ones I'm into it. But and there were some tragic things with like Glee.
Awful.
But
there was also like shitty people.
Yeah, cursed, not so much. Tragic, yes.
But you have to look at it from the perspective of like, okay, Glee had like really no minor characters. I mean, there were people who were not as major,
right.
But they really didn't have like a ton of background things. They just had like sort of extras that would walk in the hallway.
Right.
But for that much tragedy, the child pornography thing aside, for that much tragedy to strike that many big names all associated with the same thing.
Yeah, but a lot of the tragedy was like
it was drug overdoses.
Yeah, it was drugs and stuff. The only tragedy that I really found in that one was
Naya Rivera.
Yeah, that's awful. Which that could have been a drug thing too. I have no idea. But
I don't think it was. I don't think there was anything in her system when they did.
They found her 5 days after she drowned.
Does that change your bloodstream?
I would think so, especially if you're in water. I mean, your whole body's diluted at that point. I don't know.
Yeah, but the blood's still not still flowing, so it's not like it's. I don't know.
I'm not sure how that would work.
Like it's not like she bled out.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a good question.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think I think a lot of it was more tragic in the last couple at least.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty crazy about the
Little Rascals one killed me.
That one, but what was it? The John Belushi, the two back-to-back movies.
and the Confederacy of Dunces.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yep.
The same three.
But also, all three of them were absolutely enormous at their time. No pun intended, but enormous.
Yeah.
And very much in high demand.
Yeah, that's true.
And it just, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Anywho, that brings us to the end.
It does.
And you don't have any more drink. How the hell are you going to toast?
I have a beer.
You can take some of mine if you
give
want.
Me a
Just
little bit.
here.
You know what? Here, hold on.
Do you have more in there?
There might be.
Oh,
the lid was
there you go.
All the
Look at
way.
that.
Enough for a toast. That's enough for a toast.
Are you going to do the soda?
Freaking spilling everywhere. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to do the soda. I'll do a little bit of it. I already ate my cherries.
Do you want mine?
No. Well, yeah, sure, I guess. Hit up the social media stuff.
Yes. Hold on.
While we're getting cherries.
So, as always, Linktree is in the description. It'll take you to all the places you can connect with us. You've got email, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Facebook, Instagram. Hit us up.
And we're thinking about a TikTok.
I'm
thinking
intimidated.
About it. I know nothing about it. Yeah, I know nothing about it other than I'm like watching stuff.
These cover the grays that are poking out over my ears, all right?
We're thinking about it.
I don't know if you're a TikTok person and you know what to do. We'd love to help.
We'll figure it out. But
I'll watch all the TikToks. I don't know that I know how to make one.
We might be able to make one. And if we do that, maybe we can do
I'm nervous.
I don't know. Maybe we could do like a live while we're doing an episode.
God.
So we'll see. But things are coming.
Yes.
Winter is actually coming.
What?
Winter. It's coming.
Not really.
Sure it is.
It's only October.
Don't
you dare rush me through my favorite season.
Yeah.
It's witch bitch season. Leave me alone.
Yeah, we'll have three technically Halloween episodes for you because the Lorraines are going to be split in two. We're still up in the air on next week's episode.
We'll have one coming out this one will air on the 18th, and we'll have one on the 25th, and then a
Yep.
special double episode on Halloween,
Yep. The one on the 25th.
which is the 31st, and then the second part of that will come out on the
That's
1st,
the
which is our
Lorraine episode.
typical
Yeah.
truth episode. Warren.
Warren. Yeah. Sorry, I keep saying Lorraine. Lorraine Warren.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Ed is important too.
Yeah, I know it's very important too. That's the Warrens episode.
She's more important.
And not sure about the 25th. We mentioned Skinwalker Ranch before.
Yeah, we might do Skinwalker Ranch.
That's a lot.
But if you have something else that you think would be cool for this episode or, this little series,
let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it. We'd love some suggestions of what you guys want to hear, what you're interested in, feedback, good, bad, and the ugly.
Hit us on the phone number too.
On the hotline.
On the hotline. What was it? 215-450-9448. Oh, yeah, 267.
450-9448.
9448.
267-450-9448.
There you go.
Or you can email us atoast2theatypical@gmail.com.
Yep.
Yep. All the places you get your podcasts. And we've got a Facebook page and an Instagram, and
we're there. Hit us up.
Go to the link tree. All the things.
Do it. Right now.
There.
Do it.
Go.
Fucking get on it.
Go. Bye.
Ciao.
A toast to the atypical. It was a good clink.
That was a good clink. Let's do it again. Oh, right in front of the mic. Here we go. Right? This is for you. Oh, good one.
It's a little flat. What the hell just happened?
I just poured it all over my lap. It's everywhere.
What is wrong with you?
I don't
have
know.
some on your computer.
What the fuck?
What are you doing? Somebody come get this man.
Oh my god. God damn it. Oh. Guess these pants are going in the wash.
He has a drinking problem. Sayonara, suckers.